everyone, today we shall look into what does it mean to know a language from cognitive linguistics perspective. Okay, so made easy just for you. So to begin with, I will tell you what is cognitive linguistics is and how it emerged. Okay, so cognitive linguistics is a modern school of linguistic thought that originally emerged in the early 1970s. Okay, so why it emerged? It emerged out of dissatisfaction with the formal approaches to language. Okay, so they were not satisfied with the conventional methods that were followed before, like how they approached the language was not satisfied with this people. Okay, so this cognitive linguistics emerged, and in the 1989 the International Cognitive Linguistics Society was established. Okay, so there will be many famous researchers, right, in this field. So one of them was Ronald Langacker, and what he did, he told about cognitive linguistics is this marked the birth of broadly grounded self-conscious intellectual movement. Okay, so this is what about cognitive linguistics is in the perspective of Ronald Langacker. Okay, next we shall see what does it mean to know a language. Like now we are getting into the topic, understand more clearly. So cognitive linguists, like other linguists, they also study the systematicity, the structure and function of a language. Okay, but in which way they are so different is the assumption that the language is reflecting the thought. Okay, so this is what is totally different in the perspective of cognitive linguists. Okay, so they believe that language reflects thoughts. Okay, so to study language from this perspective is to study the patterns of conceptualization. Okay, conceptualization is nothing but the thought process. Okay, like we have to understand this way. Okay, language will reflect the thought. So here they study the patterns of conceptualization. Okay, so here the common idea is language will encode and transmit the complex and subtle ideas. Okay, so that is what everyone believes, right? So this process, like encoding and transmitting process, this takes place in two key functions. Okay, only with these two key functions a process is complete, and they are the symbolic function and the interactive function of a language. Okay, first we shall look into the symbolic function of a language. As we all know that from the previous slide we got to know language, it encodes and externalizes our thoughts. Okay, so how this takes place? With the help of symbols. Okay, so what are these symbols? Symbols are the bits of language. Okay, so what is bits of language here that I would like to make you clear is, bits of language are the subparts of the word, or it can be a whole part of the word, or it can be a strings of words. Okay, for example, to give an example for a subpart of a word, take an example, distaste. Okay, so here this is the subpart of the word, or taste is the subpart of the whole word, distaste. Okay, so these are the subparts of the word, and you can also take the whole words. For example, cat, run, tomorrow, or all these are whole words, and you can also believe in a sentence which are strings of words. Okay, you know that a sentence is made up of strings of words. What are they? He couldn't write. This is a sentence. Okay, this as a whole is made of words, right? It is a strings of words. All this belongs to the bits of a language, or it what you call it as a symbol. Okay, only with this symbol you can encode and externalize your thought process. Okay, so these symbol, they say that it consists of two parts. Okay, first is form and the next is the meaning. Okay, so first, what is form here that I would like to explain is, it can be a spoken form, it can be a written form, or it can be a sound format. Okay, so this is what form is. And they also say the symbol consists of a meaning. Okay, you have a meaning for each and every word, right? Like you have an encyclopedic knowledge, or you have dictionaries, so you find that each word and in context has a different meaning. So this is what a form and meaning is about. Okay, So next they talk about symbolic assembly. Okay, so what a symbolic assembly is? This form and meaning, I told you, right, a symbol consists of a form and meaning. All together it is called a symbolic assembly. Okay, now take an example of a pear. When I utter the word pear, you will get to know the shape first, or you will look into the color. Okay, like your mind will process all these things and only then you will get the physical object. This is what they are trying to say. Okay, I told you that cognitive linguists, they study the patterns of conceptualization. So this is what they are trying to force you again and again. Okay, so only you will get to know the concept first, only, and then you will get to the linguistic meaning. First you will get the concept. With the help of the word that is uttered, you will get the perception that what the world has given you, and you will get to know the concept first, and only then that gives you the linguistic meaning and form. Okay, so this is what. So when we use a language and utter the form pear, the symbol corresponds to a conventional meaning, and therefore it connects to a concept rather than directly to a physical object in the external world. Okay, so they say that language will prompt you towards the construction of conceptualization. I told you, right, this cognitive linguists study the patterns of conceptualization. Okay, so therefore words while providing meanings are only partially responsible for conceptualization. This is another one, and to prove this concept, okay, what they say, language will give you only partial conceptualizations. For example, take this example, the cat jumped over the wall. Okay, when I utter this sentence, what happens is, you may believe that the cat may like it is able to jump over the wall, or the cat may be over the wall, or it would have crossed the wall. Okay, like there are three assumptions, right? When I utter the sentence, the cat jumped over the wall, you get three utterances, right? So this is what they try to prove. So the words that you utter may have several meanings, or you may have particular meaning, but it is only partially responsible to understand the concept. Okay, so when I utter this sentence, when you have three options to get into your mind, so this is what they try to prove. Language is only partially responsible for the concept that you get in your mind. Okay, so the thought that you have got in the mind is because of the encyclopedic knowledge. Like you would have gained knowledge before, or you would have, at the present moment, you would have thought about things that have been learned before. So all those things are only partially responsible for conceptualization. Okay, next is the interactive function of a language. I told you, right, there are two key functions for encoding and externalizing our thought. So this is the second function, that is the interactive function. First thing, it will give you only the format, whereas this interactive function is what it is, which is essential. So you would have understand that language is a tool to communicate. Whenever you are asked a question, what is a language, why is it used for, you will say language is to communicate, language is a tool for communication, language is a tool for transferring ideas. So how the transferring happens? This is because of the interactive function of a language. Okay, so why is that language used for? You use it in the social function, you use it as a speech act, and you use it as an expressing things, and you can use it for the emotional response, and also it can create scenes or frames of experience. So what is frames of experience here? For example, if I say, once upon a time there was a crow. Okay, so when I utter this once upon a time, you will get the frame that I am going to tell a story to you all. Okay, so this is what the frame of experience that the language can provide. Okay, the guessing thing, whenever I utter the sentence once upon a time, you will understand that, okay, she is going to tell me a story. Okay, so this is what cognitive linguists try to prove. So this is the language in the cognitive linguist perspective. Okay.